Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the story of Demetrius Big Meech Flenory, one of America's most infamous crime figures and the mastermind behind the Black Mafia Family. Big Meech's story, from his early days in Detroit to his leadership of one of the largest heroin trafficking organizations in the United States, is one of wealth, power, family loyalty, and eventually, failure. Stay tuned as we discuss his rise, criminal enterprise, opulent lifestyle, and life behind prison. Before we go on, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Let's get started from Detroit streets to the drug trade. In Detroit, Michigan, where he was born on June 21, 1968, Demetrius Edward Flenory, who would later become known as Big Meech, spent his childhood in a challenging neighborhood. Growing up in a region with a lower income, Meech was exposed to adversity and witnessed personally the challenges that families around him were going through. When he and his younger brother Terry, also known as Southwest T, entered the drug trade when they were teenagers, his life took a dramatic and unexpected flip on its head. The two brothers began by selling tiny quantities of cocaine in their area. However, they quickly became entangled in the clandestine world of narcotics, which was a road that would ultimately lead them to a prominent position in the criminal underworld. Despite the fact that it would eventually become a high-stakes road to power, for them, this was a way to get out of poverty and provide for their family. Building the BMF empire. During the latter part of the 1980s, Big Meech and Southwest T collaborated to establish what would later be known as the Black Mafia Family, BMF, an organization that would go on to dominate the drug landscape for several decades. When it was at its height, the Black Market Gang, BMF, was one of the most prominent drug trafficking networks in the United States. Its primary focus was on cocaine trafficking. Beginning in Detroit, they expanded their operations to major cities such as Atlanta and Los Angeles, as well as other locations. BMF was rumored to be responsible for the monthly movement of thousands of kilograms of cocaine, with sources frequently being traced to Mexican gangs. Each brother was in charge of a regional hub, such as Big Meech in Atlanta and Southwest T in Los Angeles, which resulted in the formation of a network that was extensive and practically impossible to penetrate. Big Meech's lavish lifestyle. Not only did Big Meech establish a narcotics empire, but he also established a great brand. He was known for his excessive spending and showy lifestyle, and he was known for hosting enormous parties, driving exotic automobiles such as Lamborghinis and Bentleys, and living in high-end homes, particularly in Atlanta, which served as a primary hub for BMF. The extravagant way of life that Meech led was not only a manifestation of his riches, but it was also a strategy for gaining attention and demonstrating his ability to dominate. However, this prominence also attracted the attention of law authorities, who started to shut in on BMF because they suspected that these shows of affluence were supported by illegal activity. Crime meets hip-hop. Rather than merely focusing on the distribution of illegal substances, Big Meech's goal for BMF was to legitimize his money and grow his empire through the medium of music. BMF Entertainment was a music label that was established by Meech in the early 2000s. Its purpose was to promote hip-hop musicians and given BMF the opportunity to interact with prominent players in the music industry. It became even more difficult to differentiate between his illegal operation and the entertainment sector as a result of this venture. There were a number of well-known artists who were affiliated with BMF Entertainment, including Blue Da Vinci and Young Jeezy himself. The downfall. Arrest and conviction. In tandem with the expansion of the BMF empire, the interest of law enforcement in bringing the organization to its knees also increased. Big Meech and Southwest T were taken into custody by the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, in 2005. Following years of federal monitoring and investigation into their activities regarding drug use. The brothers were accused of a variety of offenses, including money laundering and the distribution of illegal drugs. In 2008, both individuals entered guilty pleas to the charge of managing a criminal business that was ongoing, and they were each sentenced to 30 years in federal prison. Reflection behind bars. Big Meech stayed incarcerated for close to 20 years. during which time he spent his time giving thought to the decisions that brought him to that position. There are reports that indicate he has been concentrating on self-improvement and has expressed regret over the route that he has chosen. As a result of the COVID-19 epidemic that occurred in the year 2020, his brother, Southwest T, was released from house arrest earlier than expected. In addition, Meech requested an early release, but his request was first denied. Nevertheless, his sentence was eventually reduced by 3 years, and his official release is scheduled to take place in the year 2028. Legacy in hip-hop. Particularly in the realm of hip-hop, where he has been honored by rappers and music videos, Big Meech's legacy continues to carry on through the generations. The tale of his life has been the source of inspiration for a great number of songs and cultural allusions, which show him as a symbol of strength and tenacity. His son, Demetrius Flenory Jr., commonly known as Lil Meek, has made his way into the entertainment industry. He even played the role of his father in the television series BMF, which was produced by 50 Cent. Big Meech's influence continues to be felt through this series and the music that makes references to him. He bridges the gap between the history of hip-hop and the history of criminal art in a way that very few personalities have been able to accomplish. A new chapter begins. Big Meech was finally released from federal prison on October 16, 2024, after serving over 20 years during his time there. In spite of the fact that his release date was originally scheduled for the year 2028, his sentence was reduced, and he was sent to a halfway home in order to finish the last portion of his reintegration process. When Meech was released from jail, his attorney, Brittany K. Barnett, expressed her joy and relief over his release. She also mentioned that Meech had utilized his time behind bars for introspection and personal development. As Big Meech makes the adjustment to a life outside the confines of the prison walls, he is presented with the opportunity to leave behind his notorious past and create a new legacy for himself. Time is the only thing that can answer the question of whether or not he will use this opportunity to guide others away from criminal behavior, or whether he will choose to go a different road. On this trip, inside the life of Big Meech and the growth and fall of the Black Mafia family, we would like to express our gratitude to you for joining us. An example of ambition, criminality, and the consequences of one's actions. Big Meech's narrative serves as a cautionary tale. We can only hope that he is able to find a way to transform the negative experiences he has had into a good force as he begins a new chapter in his life. Ensure that you subscribe to this channel, give it a like, and share this video with your loved ones and friends. In the comments section, please share your thoughts on Big Meech's legacy. Don't forget to let us know what you think. Are you expressing a sense of caution, appreciation, or something else different? We are grateful that you watched, and we hope to see you in the future video.